Welcome back, and we're moving into our first conversation this morning where we're going to find out more about an upcoming event. It is a photo shoot escape, specifically for models and photographers. And here to tell us more about it, we have Will Moreno, who is a professional photographer. We have makeup artist Tanya Tanisha in the middle, and on the end we have photographer Chester Wade. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So, a photo shoot escape. I don't even know where to begin to put this idea together. So, Will, tell me where did this come from?
Well, the photo shoot, it's as you can see, you don't even know where to even start.
It's so novel.
It's something that's never been done in Belize before. For far too long, we've had separation with the photographers and separation with the models and separation with makeup artists, and everybody's kind of like at each other. So what we decided to do is we decided to change that concept and bring everybody together for the first time to be creative. And that is the reason we decided, and give them an environment that they can be creative in.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why we chose the location, Belize Boutique Resort and Spa, which is literally an escape because it's a beautiful place.
Yeah.
So what we're doing is we're getting together the models, photographers, videographers, makeup artists, hairstylists, fashion designers, boutiques, and industry professionals in one location. And they're tasked to create and be creative, do something and that maybe you've never done before, and use the environment to be creative. So that's basically what the entire thing is about. What we're doing is we're building everybody's repertoire, and we're making sure that in the end we're all having fun, and we're networking. So that's the main goal, to bring everybody together to network, have fun, and be creative.
You know, I think this particular aspect of the creative industry is one that has been growing and growing and growing. And I'm wondering if perhaps this is not the beginning of what may be an association of sorts of this creative industry?
Well, what it is we've already created a group on Facebook, which is private, for those that have participated in the event or participating in the event. And eventually it's going to grow. That's the intent of it, to have it grow and for everybody to become better at what they're doing, to develop their skills. That's the reason why I decided to bring it on, because I wanted for them to be able I want to be able to help them to be able to get where they want to go in terms of their journey. Where do you want to go as a photographer? Where do you want to go as a model? Where do you want to take the industry, and where do you see yourself in the industry? And we want to try to help you to get there.
Now, it is highly competitive. I know, especially the photographer, the makeup artist. I don't know about the models so much because
it is a very highly competitive business.
So what has it been like getting everyone engaged to come together at one event?
For some actually, they've actually seen the benefit of having such an event. A lot of photographers who are just emerging in the industry, like for example, we have one of our photographers that are on board, Dinik. She's very young in the business, and she wants to take it to the next level. So she's coming on board because she knows that this is an opportunity to grow. And not only that, but she doesn't like the way the industry is in terms of this photographer talking about this photographer, and that's the way it goes. So what we're doing is we're explaining to everybody, every photographer has a different style, just like every model has a different style, every makeup artist has a different style. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to build on your style. We're not trying to take away your style.
Or copycat.
Style. So that's the reason why we're doing it.
Yeah. So tell us about why you two came on board. Tanya, start with you.
All right.
Is the makeup industry competitive, in your opinion?
To be honest, it's getting there.
Okay.
It's getting there. But I've been very blessed to have my clientele, and I think I've made a pretty good name for myself over the years. And I've been doing makeup for 6 years now, and in all those 6 years, I've been working with Will for those 6 years. So he's one of the first photographers that I've worked with. And when I heard about this opportunity, I thought it was a fantastic idea, especially to get different leaders in the little industry, photographers, videographers, other makeup artists as well, hairdressers and so on, under one roof, especially at such a beautiful resort, to basically work together and showcase our talents and build a very impressive portfolio.
Yeah, yeah. And as a photographer, Jessica?
It's really competitive, but I like competition. It helps bring out the best out of you. But what we really is the collaboration, is to working together, understanding that we're not here trying to cut each other off, but help each other grow. The location is great. Having models, being in a beautiful location should be very easy.
Yeah.
Like for me, my really goal is to really collaborate with photographers, is to really, we're so divided, really, and we want to try to work together. That's my real goal.
But what causes this? Is it because there's not sufficient business? Is it?
It's really not because there's not sufficient business. It's just that I think photographers in Belize fail to understand that every photographer has a different style. And in most cases, what they try to do is they try to copy another style instead of creating their own style. So that's what we're trying to let photographers know, that we want to take your style and we want to develop your style. We don't want to take away from your style. For example, Chester shoots a different style than I shoot.
Yeah.
I'm more bright and airy, vibrant. Chester has a little bit more edgy, darker.
I like the drama.
Yeah.
You like the drama, okay.
So,
But it's
that's
true.
why
I think the interesting thing about the artistry in what each one of you do, if I look at the different makeup artists, is a style that is unique to each artist, including photographers. And it, you can't always verbalize exactly what it is, but you just know.
Yeah.
So how do you get them together and help them to build on their craft? There's one important aspect that we're not talking about, which is the majority of people in this industry are self-taught. And it means that, I may need to learn something from someone else who knows something that I don't know yet.
And that's the reason why, as a photographer, I decided to take a step back.
Yeah.
Chester can tell you, it's hard for a photographer to take a step back.
Yeah.
I've been in this industry, I'll say, well over 25 years.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot that I can actually help them on their way to develop their skills. So what I did is I'm taking that step back now, and I'm trying to help them during this photo shoot escape. So I'm going to be able to, I'll be there for them to be able to ask questions, to be able to help them while they're doing a shoot, to be able to see what they want to create, and then try to maybe help them and say, you know what, maybe we should try this, or try this, and see if this works for you. So that's why I think having an escape like this, even for models, most people know that I'm actually the managing director for Nouveau Model Management. And in helping models to learn posing and tell them, you know what, maybe turn this way or turn that way, so we can get the best aspect out of them. So, well, I can't tell Tanya what to do, because Tanya, I don't know makeup, Tanya does. So Tanya, that's the reason why having the escape and having all these people together in one location, maybe Tanya can build off someone else, or someone else can build off Tanya. So that's the reason why it is there. It's all about networking.
Yeah.
Don't mind him. He says that he doesn't know makeup, but he challenges me, and I always appreciate that. So some days he would come with a project and say, hey, I need this type of look, I need this type of editorial look, and stuff like that. And sometimes I'd be like, okay. But he challenges me, and I always appreciate a good challenge. So I also really appreciate the this type of activity that he's putting together. I'm going to have models at my disposal. I'm going to have photographers at my disposal. So I'm pretty excited about it.
To showcase your work. Now, I've seen in multiple occasions where makeup artists do work together, especially because if you have a big show coming up, there are more people that are needed. What are the unique challenges to your industry?
Well, I wish there were like two of me. Equally.
Everybody.
Time to start that apprenticeship program.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
With some of the makeup artists that are due coming up, I appreciate that a lot of them are very willing to learn, and that's a big thing. If you go there with a really with like a type of know-it-all attitude, then it's kind of hard to teach, because experience is one of the biggest teachers here.
Yeah.
And I'm always really excited to showcase my information and showcase the things that I know, and to share all that information as well. So to be honest, it's a little bit hard to get makeup artists to, I wouldn't say be at your level, but in some cases it's kind of hard to get them to be a little bit more open, especially to changes and criticism as well. So.
And for you, Chester, as a young photographer, young up and coming, tell me what are the unique challenges you see in your industry?
I believe that our country could use less photographers and more photographic teams and companies. Like, we need to get out of that one person is going to do everything. One person can do everything, but it's too much. It's better to have people assigned to do things as a team. You have more minds coming together. You have a chance of making something special.
Yeah. That's a great idea. You know, we see that actually when you're outside of Belize. You usually see a team of photographers working.
Right.
So you get every angle all at once.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, and that's great because we're, like I said, everyone is thinking, all right, me, and then there's a bunch of photographers popping up like almost every day.
Yeah.
I love it. It's not a bad thing. Like I said, we could use less individuals because as far as you go as one person can be far, but with a team behind you is much farther.
Yeah. Do they have photographers who work together already?
Yes, as a matter of fact, Chester and I have worked together.
Oh, you
we-
cover the color part and he covers the dark part.
No, we, for example, we did a wedding, I think it was a couple months ago. Chester was brought on board. We had, everybody knows Gencovelli.
Yeah.
He was on board. We had Ulysses Torres, who was on board. I can't do it all by myself. So what I do is I look for capable people that I think has what it takes to fulfill my style.
Yeah.
And we bring it all together under one roof, and we end up creating.
Nice. And what was the experience like?
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I mean, these guys can tell you, we had a whole lot of fun creating the project, and the clients absolutely loved it. In the end, that's what all that matters, to make sure that client is extremely happy.
Yeah.
And it's always a hoot when a bunch of artists get together.
Yeah.
It's really a lot of fun.
No, that should be because we're all creatives, you know, we all want to create. So coming together, we should have that ability to create, you know. And like when we were there with Will at the wedding, he was there shooting. I had a little break and I was just setting up lights and he was taking pictures. Like I was kind of lighting for him, and he's like, "Hey, I just noticed that you're lighting."
Yeah.
You know, you as a photographer, I kind of have an idea, not fully because our styles are different, but I have an idea of what he would want to do.
Yeah.
So how he's moving, okay, I see where he is, I see where he's pointing his lens.
Yeah.
I have an idea of where to light. And when you collab like that, you can really make special stuff.
Makes your job easier too.
Yeah. And what about helping to develop the business part of it? Because that's always, you know, when you're creative, you don't want to do the business part. And we
That's
hear
true.
it with singers all the time, or musicians all the time in this country. But that's also, I'd imagine, a collective challenge for
It is.
you all as well.
It is. In the industry, photographers, videographers, makeup artists, everybody, nobody likes to release secrets.
No.
Everybody says they have their secrets. To be honest with you, I am not very competitive when it comes to that. If a photographer comes to me and asks me, you know what, how much do you charge for so-and-so? I'm just going to tell him, you know what, the ballpark figure is this and this. It all depends on what you're producing.
Yeah.
If you're producing more on the lower end, then you need to be priced on the lower end. If you're producing higher end, you need to be, you know, priced at the higher end. But at the same time, this event is going to help, because what it does now, it's bringing everybody together under one area or one roof, and everybody can start feeding off each other. You know, what would you do in this situation, or what would you charge for this situation? Because there's going to be, it's not only photo shoots all day or video shoots all day. We have 2 nightly themed events. One which is a all-white social after and I think that's on Friday night. And then on Saturday night, we're gonna have just a pool party get together where everybody could just relax, socialize, have fun, talk about collaborations in the future, or talk about anything that they want to talk about. How do you do this, or what would you do in this situation? Or so that's why it's a very helpful tool to bring everybody together.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, what has been the response?
The response so far has been good. We would like to see a better response. A lot of times people don't understand the benefit of something since it's the first time. These types of events happen all around the world, but it's the first time here in Belize. And I think that models, some hairstylists, some industry professionals, they don't understand the benefit of what they're going to be getting. I'll give you an example. Models for far too long have been offered free photo shoots. For the price of 2 photo shoots here in Belize, they're not only getting photo shoots, they're going to get approximately about 10 to 12 photo shoots for that entire weekend. They're getting the accommodations, they're getting their meals and beverages, they're getting round trip transportation to and from the location, they're getting access to the event, they're getting access to the 2 nightly team socials. So if you put it all together, what we're charging is very negligible.
Yeah.
It's very, what should I say? It's affordable. It's very affordable. Just a
and
weekend.
I imagine they'd have photos in the end of it. You have models, you have models, and they get makeup artists and photographs.
Exactly. Like I said, for the price of 2 photo shoots, they're gonna get about 10 to 12. And not only that, they get the escape, they get all these other perks. For that price.
So, what about the model aspect? We don't have any models here to
Yes.
tell us, but you can tell us as the management, right? What are some of the challenges that they're seeing?
I think the main challenge that models are seeing is, for far too long, models in Belize have been way underpaid. In some instances, some companies are even paying them as low as $75 for the day. And that's when a model is not associated with a company that actually fights for their income or for their right. So what they're doing is they're seeing that it's very difficult to be able to afford such an event. So what we did is we ended up trying to give models an incentive, and we even offered it in 3 installment payments for them to be able to afford something like this. But they're also their challenge is also seeing the fact that they're going to get all these things out of this event, and they get to link with all these industry professionals that can use them in the future and make be creative in the future with them.
And is there a lot of business? I mean, we see models here when we have fashion shows. I've seen them with major fashion shows. I see them in advertisements now. But is there sufficient? I mean, there's always the joke that there are too many models and photographers in Belize.
Well, the thing is
there enough business?
There is enough business.
Okay.
At Nouveau Model Management, we are constantly busy.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, Expo is happening this weekend, and we do have models working for Expo. So it's one of these things. So they become
like brand ambassadors for the day.
Brand ambassadors for the day for these companies, and there is a lot of work out there. But Chester had mentioned something to me yesterday, which is certainly true. We use the term models very loosely. When it comes to models, are you a professional? Have you been trained? Do you know how to walk? Do you know how to talk? Do you know how to present yourself? Do you know the ins and outs of the modeling industry?
Or do you just photograph well?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the minute somebody does a single photo shoot, they call themselves a model. And that's not necessarily the case. I mean, I don't want to step on toes.
Stop stepping on toes.
Or
the Instagram filters work well for them.
that too. But that's why we want to be able to have events like this. To be able to, if you want to be a model, you can come on board. These professionals are here to guide you along, to teach you, all right, this works well for you. Turn this way, turn that way. And that's only one aspect of the modeling industry. There's also the video side of the modeling industry. then also there's promotional models. You know, there's body part models. There's video commercial models. So there's so many aspects to it. So we can't use that term anymore very loosely like we used to do before.
It's interesting though, because even internationally, you're seeing the type of women that are being used for modeling totally change. And it isn't just so much about, it's like our beauty pageants, what we're seeing as well. It's moving away from the stereotypical to more diversity. Are we embracing that in Belize as yet?
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Most definitely. We're seeing right now, there's not because the modeling industry abroad has been doing it, but in Belize, we're a melting pot of cultures. So we can't say that we're just going to have white-skinned, blonde hair models on the runway, nor can we say that we're just going to have a size 0 on the runway. We have from size 0 to size 14 and above, but they do look fabulous in clothing.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why in Belize, we're embracing that. The one thing that we can't embrace is the fact that most of our models here in Belize are under the height requirements for international.
Yeah.
And it's very hard
Which
to
is
find
what?
that needle. It's for runway, it's about 5'7" to 5'9". Male is about 5'11".
Yeah.
Here, the average female is about 5'2" to 5'5", and males are about 5'5" to 5'9". So they're still under the benchmark, but at the same time, we have to be inclusive.
Yeah.
That's what our people are. That's who we are. So we have to be
Yeah.
inclusive of them.
And tell me about the male modeling industry. How's that going?
The male modeling industry is starting to pick up.
Okay.
Most people, they don't realize that their brands do need male models. So now we're starting to get the male models in there. A lot of times they get frustrated because they don't feel like they get booked as much as the female models do. So we're trying to get that out there now, and we're getting more male models.
Is there an interest though?
Yes, there is an interest.
Yeah.
There is an interest, but not as much as we would like to see.
And as you said, the event that's taking place at the end of the month on Saturday, the 20th.
It's going to be on Saturday. It's going to start on Friday,
Okay.
the 28th to September 30th.
Okay, so it's a
We
weekend.
leave here at midday, and right away we jump into it. We do a little social, making sure everybody knows who everybody is.
Yeah.
We do a couple of photo shoots that night. We have the dinner and social that night for everybody to get familiar with each other. Saturday we go full force into it all day. Saturday night again, a social. Sunday we get up, go into it again, and we leave the resort at about 4 p.m. that day.
Where's the resort?
Belize Boutique Resort is located, formerly Maruba, which is located I think it's in Mascal Village.
Okay.
We have sponsors on board who are providing clothing for the models to wear, because most times models don't know what to wear, or
Yeah.
So what the boutiques are doing is they're actually putting together entire outfits.
Oh,
So
wow.
you're talking about dresses, tops, bottoms, accessories, everything, and that would be Pink Boutique. We have Zara's Boutique, and we have Eve's Secrets Lingerie, who's providing outfits for the models to be able to model in.
Okay.
And so it's not one of these things that, what am I going to wear? Well, what
Yeah.
am I going to model in? We're actually providing that for you so that you're able to just do what you do best.
Well, this is going to be an interesting weekend. And when do the rest of us get to see what comes out of this weekend?
Hopefully what happens is the photographers, the videographers, it takes a little bit of time to get things out.
Yeah.
And we're expecting maybe 3 weeks. We would like to see 2 weeks after, just a few. And then we know we're going to give them about 4 weeks to be able to get pretty much all of it out.
Yeah.
And then they're going to be able to see what all the creative activity was, and what was created from that weekend.
Yeah. And on an individual basis, what would you want to walk away with at the end of this event?
To me, like I said, really is the collaboration. And so for me, like we have this big event. For me, I would want it to reach a point where it doesn't have to be this big event. So we meet these other photographers, we meet these other professionals. that we will all work in the same industry, work with each other on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Like I said, you always need someone there helping you. You might always be holding something, but just maybe watching something. But having people around you and having, well, for me, I know if I have another photographer working with me, they will take care of my gear somewhat like me because they understand the cost of things.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it really is, to me, it's a collaboration and taking something big like this and reach to a point where it's, yes, we can do this repeatedly,
Yeah.
but on a daily basis to work with each other, to really work and collaborate with each other.
Yeah, for me, it's the same with Chester. It's definitely building that relationship with other industry professionals. Through my years of experience, I've been fortunate enough to be working with a lot of photographers, a lot of videographers. So I know for me, going on this escape is going to be almost like a reunion, right? But I always try to maintain a really good relationship with everyone, especially because you're going to be meeting them out there anyway. So I always like a good relationship, good working relationship with everybody. So.
And from an organizer standpoint, what's the main goal?
The main goal for this event, again, is to bring everybody under one roof, for them to be creative together, and for them to be able to have fun in an environment that is fun. What we want to see from this event is we want to see growth. We want to see that each photographer, each model, each makeup artist push themselves to the limit to be able to be creative and show people what they're able to do, as opposed to just most times what they're doing is they're creating what the customer wants. Here, they're able to create what they think is best.
Yeah.
And that's why we're pushing the creativity limit. I'm giving them full license to create what you need to create. Just go ahead, go for it. For far too long, I think we've been, from a photographer's standpoint, we've been held down because of our social realm in Belize. They see this as too risque or too this or too that. Photographers need to be creative. Videographers need to be creative. Makeup artists needs to be creative. Hairstylists need to be creative. So we want to see them, just explore their talent.
Yeah.
And then develop it to a degree from this event that they say, when I come out of here, I know I've been better than I was when I went in. So that way, for future events, we're going to be able to do the same thing, and we're going to push the bar even higher.
Yeah. And spaces are still available?
We do have spaces still available. As a matter of fact, from an organizer standpoint, I took a step back. It's very hard for me to do that, but I think it was the best decision to be able to help other creatives to create their masterpieces. Make sure the makeup artists, they're pushing the limit. I want to make sure everyone's pushing the limit. So that's the reason I took a step back. So for photographers, I have one space open. All other photographers' spots have been taken. Videographers, I have 2 spaces still available. For models, I have 6 spaces still available. For hairstylists, I have 2 spaces available. Industry professionals, we do have one that's coming with us, and that is the National Director of Miss World, Miss Earth, and Miss America Latina del Mundo.
Okay.
What he wants to see is he wants to see young girls who are able to possibly represent Belize in the future. So he wants to he wants to meet with them at this event as well. So that's the reason he's going along. So all these
there are
people,
lots of different opportunities.
There's definitely lots of opportunities here. Like I said, models that they can link with photographers, videographers, makeup artists to do collaborations in the future. And because of the network that they're building, they're able to call upon them just by a phone call now. Hey, or through the group platform that we have. Hey, are you available, or does anyone know about anybody that can, fill in these positions. Instead of having to reach to the wider audience that they don't know,
Yeah.
they can reach within.
I always see the wipe calls for models and for on Facebook.
Yes,
But it is an opportunity. We wish you the best of luck with it. How do people get in touch with you if they're interested?
They can give us a call at 635-5555, which is my cell.
Okay.
Or they can send an email to belizephotoescapes@gmail.com. Or they can check out the Facebook page and send us a message there at Belize Photo Escapes.
All right. Thank you so much for coming in and best of luck.
Thank
Thank
you.
Thank you.
We're going to go ahead and take a break, and when we come back, it will be for Brock It Down with Jenny. So stay tuned.